S6, a sword princess and a raven, made their debut as a young boy saving the competition area. S7, a Wayne, a policewoman, a difficult road to climb the mountaintop in a competition area. S8, a blind monk, a green steel shadow, a beautiful story engraved in the history of the Alliance. S9, an enchantress, an Aso, an unshakable and complete rule of a dynasty. S10, a hammer stone, a Luo, a legendary story that no one can surpass. LPL, not yet apoptotic. LPL will eventually rise. Faker. Did this person really hit the jackpot? Peanut. Xianghe, if I catch him like this, he won't come to the wilderness to fuck me next year, will he? Uzi. I admit that LPL can have a dominant position in the past, and Zijian's contribution is indispensable, but can he stop playing in the AD position? Miko. I'm unemployed because a spicy man has a seizure and needs to use an assistive device this year. Painful face, this book is also known as, you, Brother Jian, can play in any position, Brother Jian, they know they're wrong, don't pursue them anymore. The days when I trained on LPL for those years, I cried to death, Brother Jian broke his heart for EDG reinforcement. Keywords of the novel. LOL. This man is too reckless without a pop-up window. LOL. This man is too reckless. Download the full text. LOL. This man is too reckless. Latest chapter reading. Chapter 1. My God, does he need a dozen or 5? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. My God, does he need a dozen or 5? One wave. Congratulations to FNC. The spear breathed a sigh of relief and continued helplessly. I'm reluctant to say this, but FNC defeated EDG 3.0. I don't know what to say now. What comes to mind is last week when I explained to Xiao Xiao. I thought of 100 ways to boast, but to be honest, I didn't expect the outcome to be like this. On the big screen, Ouching smiled and hugged Deft, while the starches in the internet cafe took a deep breath. Just as everyone was immersed in a sad atmosphere, a disharmonious voice rang out. Network administrator, 5 kills, plus an additional 20 yuan for internet fees. The internet administrator wearing a floral shirt added the internet fee and then took a cold drink from the refrigerator. Brother Chui, did you kill 5 more? Jianshen glanced at the Red Bull next to him, manipulated Ruiwen to clear the last health of the dragon, and then pressed the B key to return to the city. So what, I bought this drink. If there's anything, just say it. It's nothing, it's just that Penguin recently held an internet cafe league. I wanted to ask if you want to join. Jianshen frowned and opened Red Bull to take a sip. It's not a big deal, EDG's Xiaoji gave me a LPL practice order. Xiaoji. Where did you come from? Xiaoji, you're talking about Abu. The uncle who was surfing the internet next to him also smiled and said, look, you've been online for a month, and you haven't played with the big tree either. Xiaojian, you don't want to brag like that. EDG just lost the game, so you're going to strengthen. Jianshen doesn't care what they say anymore. After returning home and making the resurrection armor. 23 minutes later, Raven had already set up the 6 gods. Watching Jianshen play games is really a visual feast. The small network administrator didn't leave and stood behind to look. Jianshen's Ruiwen is located in the blue side, and at this time, the total head ratio of the blue and red sides is 23 to 20. And Raven alone has 14 heads. Excluding Raven, the other 4 people in the blue square are all at a disadvantage. And in the recent battle of the Dragon Group, Raven managed to bring the situation back on his own. Not only did they harvest the battlefield, but they also took down the bloodless dragon. As the only dragon species, Jianshen manipulated Ruiwen to start single lane down the road. By the way, eat up the red buff. My own ADC was just about to make a question mark, but when I saw that the other person was pretending to be the six gods, I could only break my teeth and swallow it in my stomach. Sleeping slot, brother Jian, the order on the opposite side is PDD. Really, it's Lu. A group of people ran to PDD's live broadcast room to verify. Good guy, why don't you go to the live broadcast room to watch anything delayed? You can just watch the live broadcast live. Moreover, this is a close-up observation of the god wreaking havoc on the big anchor. In no time, the people from the internet cafe surrounded EDGCzijian. Many people have already started opening their phones and are preparing to post on social media. Ruewen approached the second tower of the lower route with the weapon line blessed by the dragon buff, and the upper prince did not even have the qualification to check the weapon line. PDD was frantically signaling his teammates. Hurry up, someone. Raven is going to kill the pig. You guys are not guarding the second tower, are you? You're not guarding. Then I won't keep it either. According to reason, the prince has already given up the second tower, and Raven will have to wait for his teammates to lead the line in the middle. After all, from the position of the second tower to the highland, it is easy to be surrounded by the opposite side. Not to mention the red side single czar, the wild boar fighting girl, and the combination of Luhanbing and Morgana. Playing is about filling up the control chain. If you have a control, you can pick up the Red Bull next to you and slowly appreciate the subsequent control on the other side. EDGCzijian didn't want to watch the black and white TV and drink Red Bull. He first took a sip of Red Bull while walking. Dig into the grass in front of the second tower and start scanning to confirm that there are no eye positions inside. At this moment, Raven seemed like a hunter, quietly waiting for his prey to approach. The red side also knows that as long as they catch Raven to death, this game will be completely won. Morgana raised her hand and just gave her eye position to the grass, and Raven's ghostly figure flickered out from inside. My goodness, is this 1 to 5? We can understand that you, the six gods dressed in raven, are fishing in the grass for the prince. But you want to fish with 5 people across from you, how do you make me understand? The first segment of the folding wings dance is a close-up of the pig girl at the forefront. The skill connection points up to the floor, and then the second movement of the folding wings dance successfully approaches Morgana behind her. So many deaths. Great move activated, with an additional 20% attack power and an additional attack range. The people present didn't know what had happened, and Morgana had already turned into a corpse. Legendary. I don't know how many supernatural moments EDGCzijian has had in this game. The Shanghua Dragon team defeated the 5 flashes on the opposite side, which gave EDGCzijian the confidence to fight against them. Cold Ice watched as she was about to become the next prey, and the magic crystal arrow was released without any hesitation. E-skill, Brave Forward, dodges the crystal arrow that is about to hit the face diagonally forward. With a single slash, a bright red number of 663 floated above the head of Cold Ice. Without the support of any health equipment, the 11th level Cold Ice only has 1600 health. That is to say, when Raven falls a knife, with the damage of the second move, Cold Ice will be a corpse. The Tsar did not hesitate at all. The quicksand moved to the side of the Cold Ice, and the wall of the Forbidden Army raised Raven high. At the moment of being knocked away, Piggy didn't save her skills and threw her ultimate move in shock. The people watching after Zi's workout seemed to have forgotten to breathe. A series of controls, this is inevitable. No, there is a mercury curved blade. Pig's sister's ultimate move, the frozen prison, had just touched Raven's body when a dazzling white light flashed by in the next moment. Second solution. The mercury curved blade cannot dispel the flying of the Forbidden Army wall, but it can dispel dizziness. The originally playful and playful PDD is now particularly serious. Control is no longer connected, we must use hard damage to kill Raven. Demacia. The wall of the prince's ultimate move has just appeared, and yellow stars are scattered in the canyon. Raven's flash crossed the wall of the forbidden army and slashed the cold ice into remaining blood. Ha! The shockwave of the gale slash cleared the last health of cold ice and affected the Tsar. Even though there is a huge difference in equipment between the two sides, the Tsar's three-piece set already has a hat, and the damage dealt is not low. Moreover, in order to pursue the ultimate damage, EDGCzijian not only brings weak dual resistance to the resurrected armor, but also a flowing output equipment. PDD connected EQ2 at an extremely tricky angle, but unexpectedly, Raven turned around and easily dodged it. At the same time, Sister Pig also arched over. EDGCzijian finally took action, holding on to the final soul-suppressing roar. Squeezing numbness, I just said this kid is playing very perversely. Now you believe it, right? Everyone, please follow up and take a look at our collection. Thank you for your support. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Took on a practice order and went to EDG to place the order. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 took on a practice order and went to EDG to place the order. PDD lay hands on each other, he no longer had any operating space. The knife fell from his hand, and Raven once again took away a cushion. When the prince fell, the Tsar finally cleared Raven's health bar. But the final warning did not sound. The holy baptism of resurrected armor will grant Raven a second life in 4 seconds. The Tsar and the pig girl want to stand up, but now brother Jian can't handle it, can he? Jian, what are you still doing in a daze? Hurry up and change the company's naming knife in seconds. Observing the crowd. Everyone still focuses on the computer screen. Over the past month, they have witnessed EDGCzijian's various performances turning the stage. If he presses himself up, he will die. At this point, Jian Gu has already taken a sip of Red Bull. Obviously, he has no intention of giving up at this moment. As the king of Ionia, the Tsar stood up and pressed down perfectly. As soon as Raven got up, half of his remaining 30% health was knocked out. However, I am waiting for the CD to come back to life. Tsar, what are you waiting for? The distance between the Tsar and Raven is only about 700 yards, and facing Raven with pure output equipment, the Tsar does not want to gamble. As Raven approached and was about to swing the giant sword, the Tsar moved the quicksand towards the direction of the pig girl. Raven, who was originally facing forward, suddenly changed direction. The direction of daring to move forward is the direction for the Tsar to return. It's over, it's over, it's over. I was shown off by someone else, Ruiwan. PDD covered the camera, and the sound of a lighter came from the live broadcast room, but the anchor's howling voice was louder. He predicted that the Tsar would move the quicksand, and you may not know that the showdown between experts ended up being psychological. It's obvious that Raven won this psychological battle. The Tsars, who have also gained a significant advantage in the middle, also use output gear. When he realized that a Raven had become a boss-level presence, it was too late for him to make an hourglass again. Compared to chopping cold ice, the Tsar is a bit more fragile. Quadra kill. Only the lonely pig girl is left until the last 5 kills. Pig girl players also understand that resisting in a corner is meaningless, and the situation is very obvious after this wave, so they gave away their own heads. Pentakill. As Raven alone annihilated the opponent, his teammates on the support road turned their horses and chose a wave to end the game. The explosion at the base caused a mechanical female voice to ring in EDGCzijian's ear. The people around seemed to have not heard the sound, only EDGCzijian was slightly stunned. Game victory, game score 14.9, earn 14 points. Current training position. On order, score. A. After EDGCzijian added 14 points to his hand speed ability, he opened the data panel. Name. EDGCzijian current training position. Previous order hand speed index. 84 team battle index. 78 operation index. 82 Line Index. 79 Development Index. 88 Consciousness Index. 46 Besides consciousness, EDGCzijian is really developing comprehensively. But when it grows up, it can even be a dozen or 5. What else do you need a bicycle for? Okay. After EDGCzi's fitness, the onlookers didn't know who shouted first, causing a wave of excitement on the scene. 1 to 5. Kill them all. Still the King's Bureau. Is this man too strong? The fattest thing on the other side is that Tsar's 3-piece set. I already have the 6 God set, and this kind of equipment can crush you. You can do it yourself. Jian Gu, I'm really not good at it. No, you're really good at it. Mom, if you make me work for 5 kings with just 1 silver, I really can't do it. EDGCzijian gave a cheap smile and said, okay, if you can't do it, then I can do it. The highest rank of the players present is around platinum, and they can't see any details, they only know that they played too handsome just now. In addition, with the program effect of aggressively attacking PDD, the customer who just questioned EDGCzijian's strength turned into a little fan on the spot. Jian Gu, come to our internet cafe team. Our boss said, if we win the championship, we'll give you this number. Xiao Wenguan Aqiang excitedly extended a whole palm. 50,000 is indeed not a small amount. Especially during the days when EDGCzijian had no fixed residence in the demon capital, he had no other income except for earning a wave of internet fees by fighting and killing 5 times every day. When I first arrived, I paid 10 yuan and played for a month, leaving a balance of 3,300 yuan in internet fees. I don't know what's going on with this internet fee, why are you still playing more and more? I really can't do it. I recently received an order from EDG, and they should start traveling back from Paris today. I may have to go to practice tomorrow. Brother, don't make any fuss. I really didn't make a fuss. EDGCzijian is speechless. We have known each other for a month now, and I have already collected 4 or 5,000 yuan for internet fees. Why don't you trust my skills? I dare to die if I dare to catch me, I can't play a profession anymore. However, Xiao Wenguan Aqiang is not unfamiliar with EDGCzijian's deeds. Originally, it was a substitute for OMG who placed the order, but somehow it was expelled. Then he wandered to his internet cafe, living a daily ugly life of relying on 5 kills to collect wool. However, due to the presence of this great deity, the business of internet cafes has indeed flourished in the past month. The big anchors or well-known professional players that everyone could only see in the live broadcast room were all brutally beaten by EDGCzijian with their heads pressed down. For a win-win situation, the internet cafe owner not only allowed EDGCzijian to use internet fees to collect wool, but also allowed him to exchange the money from the internet fees for boxed meals. Unable to do anything, being expelled by OMG, EDGCzijian had no face and could only rely on the activities of the internet cafe to support himself. The customers in the internet cafe speak well and he really likes it here. A month ago, as a welfare payout for travelers, EDGCzijian's mouth slightly raised as he trained in the all-around professional athlete system. Damn OMG, don't deceive the poor youth. Aqiang received the boss's death order to make sure that EDGCzijian, the great Buddha, joined their internet cafe team. A player who has played LPL, even if he is not good, playing in internet cafe leagues is still a blow to dimensionality. Moreover, Aqiang also found that EDGCzijian's strength is really getting stronger. The frequency of the 5 kills has been increasing recently, except for the online or single-player personality that dares to catch and die, which has not changed. Just like in the game just now, with a double 5 kill, I managed to collect 40 yuan worth of internet fees in half an hour. This is even faster than practicing on behalf of others. Just as Aqiang was about to speak again, EDGCzijian's phone next to the mouse rang. Xiaoqiang, look, the person who invited me to practice has arrived. Aqiang frowned and swallowed his saliva, seeing the contact person's note. EDG, Abu. Is this fake? OMG doesn't even want a substitute, can we go to EDG? Even if you control Thunderbolt in the Chinese server King's game, you can't just say that playing LPL is a substitute. You're crazy, but I always feel like you're bragging about X. Hello, is that Xiaoji? Abu, who was far away in Paris, was very angry when he lost the game, but now he's completely speechless. Xiaoji, just Xiaoji. What do you mean, Xiaoji? Abu spoke slowly and said, I have agreed to the conditions you mentioned. Hurry up and pack up and report to the club. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. EDGCzijian goes online. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 EDGCzijian is online. Because he was driving hands-free, Ah Chang could hear the voice across from the phone. Abu's voice is very recognizable. He is really the coach of EDG. Ah Chang stood still, knowing that it was impossible for him to have someone else practice on his behalf. Boss, how could you guess that the boss you hired is going to LPL? Still EDG. But on second thought. EDG's order seems to be like that, right? The MSI of Kuru is quite powerful, and the Buddha's palm is indeed eye-catching. But when placing an order on EDG, everyone understands. Bu Shen, long live. Hanging up the phone, Jiang stood beside Abu with a straight face. Just lost the game, Jiang's mood doesn't look beautiful. Originally won the MSI championship this year, everyone thought that Guadian was about to rise. At the World Cup, it rose, but not completely. Being swept by Europe 3.0, I really have to swim back. What did that kid say? He first said, Xiao Ji, right. I said that after agreeing to his conditions, I would call him Bushen. Jiang suppressed her laughter and said, sure, that fits his image very well. However, he said that if our team lacks middle single support, he can also play. Seven Sauces almost didn't spray out the water they just drank, waving their hands repeatedly and saying. Don't worry, I've seen everything about this kid, he almost scared me to death. Abu glanced suspiciously at Seven Sauce. Is it that scary? You blew the top order like a god, and no matter how bad the other positions are, where else can they go? EDGCzijian from the Magic City glanced at his data panel. Order placed. A. Wilderness. E. Middle order. D. ADC. F. Auxiliary. D. Sure, this fits perfectly with the panel of my versatile professional athlete. Besides placing an order, EDGCzijian really put in a lot of effort to practice other positions. F. Level is the initial level for professional athletes, and cannot be described as bronze in terms of ranking. Playing in a national uniform can also be a mix of bricks and stones. But if you play professionally, you have to be at the bottom of the second-tier league. As for why the ADC position is F-level AD. Don't even play with dogs, okay? Winky face. Brother Jian, are you really leaving? Ah Chang, with tears in his eyes, sent EDGCzijian to the taxi. Master, Lingsha Road EDG Club, let's go. Jian Gu, you want happiness. Jian Gu, will we see each other again? Jian Gu, in the future, your world will be without me. Brother Jian, how can I explain to the boss without you, Brother Jian? The taxi is parked at the entrance of the EDG Club. EDGCzijian doesn't have much luggage either, a few changed clothes, and a piece of soap to wash everything. The staff responsible for welcoming EDGCzijian at the door was a young girl, and at the moment she saw her, her eyes were straight. So handsome, so eager with a height of 1.85 meters and a white and clean face, I definitely put in a lot of effort on my face. Professional players are mostly upside down all day and night, with casual grooming and messy hair. But EDGCzijian is clean and refreshing, mainly resembling the handsome figures in front of the phone screen. Are you the contestant mentioned by Manager G? Hello, I'm EDGCzijian. Jian gave a sweet smile, and He's little deer bumped around with a slight blush on his face. That's it. This dormitory belongs to Mingkai, and the manager said he wants you two to live together. Okay, thank you, Mississippi. He's lowered her head and dared not look directly, but the corner of her mouth slightly raised. After putting away his luggage, Jian went to the training room. He's saw Jian rushing straight to the training room. What is the conservatism of a professional athlete? That's it. I just started working and haven't received my salary yet, so I started to immerse myself in the intense and exciting work. However, 17 cards, can you second me? Jian squatted on the seat, his face serious and serious. Arema, if I ask you to second me, are you really just seconds me? Before leaving the internet cafe, Jian exchanged the internet fee of 3,300 yuan for cash. That is to say, he only has around 3,000 yuan now. What's enough for him in a big city like Magic City? Just play games for a while to relax. Most importantly, the computers in the club don't cost anything, not even electricity. As for the issue of eating, Jian is quite willing to order takeout. After taking a bite of the food provided by the club, Jian finally understood. Mr. Dai said he didn't like Chinese cuisine, and he really couldn't blame him. Pigs have to take a few bites before leaving. Abu and his team returned quite quickly. The losing team has no reason to be in Paris, which is the cruelty of esports. The weak can only withdraw and wait for the next year to challenge the supreme throne again. As soon as he arrived at the club, Abu ran to Mingkai's dormitory. I didn't see Jian's figure and happened to meet He's walking towards me. He's, where is the player I recruited? He's in the training room. Upon hearing these words, Abu's eyes lit up. It's only a few o'clock this morning. At 8 o'clock, while other professional players were still sleeping, they had already begun to venture deep into the canyon, seeking to break through the enemy crystal. Undoubtedly selected by Mingkai, reliable. However, when he arrived at the training room, Abramovich wanted to cancel his previous reliability. Jian's landlord battle has reached its final stage. Good guy, this card is really good, Abu sighed. Abu's sudden words startled Jian and he immediately right-clicked to play all the cards. No, you bastard, did the 4 heir take the 2 kings out? Abu seems like his heart is dripping blood. You can't grasp how to drop such a good card. Didn't you scare me, otherwise I would be so excited. Jian was also very frustrated. He just wanted to turn around and see which bastard was scaring him. Okay, it turns out to be his closest and most beloved manager. Bu Shen, I'm back. I miss you all so much. How's it going? How's the World Championship going? Do you have a thin veil faker, step on Samsung, and slay LCK in anger? Don't you watch the news? I go into the people all day long to investigate the contradictions between the grassroots people and the landlords. How can I have time to pay attention to that little thing? Just fight against the landlord, okay? You found out. Abu realized that Mingkai was right. This person is quite cheap, not just his name. Put the prepared contract on the table from your pocket. This is all the money the club can offer, but we have agreed to your request for a live broadcast contract. We will also give you an appropriate starting lineup for the spring season. Do you have any further questions? Jian picked up a thick stack of contracts and pretended to be reading them carefully. I'm a junior high school diploma, knowing every word, but why is it so difficult to understand when connected? We should have hired 3 lawyers in the beginning, otherwise we won't be able to leave completely. What should we do? Jian waved his hand and signed his name at the end of the contract. EDG orders, Zijian goes live. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Everyone should rely on their abilities. If you call me Ashui, then I will call you Jianshen. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 4. Everyone should rely on their abilities. If you call me Ashui, then I will call you Jianshen. October 24th is destined to be a sleepless day for LPL audiences. Jian and Abu sat on the sofa, watching as the Tigers KO defeated FNC 3.0 and achieved a crushing victory. A week ago, EDG was also beaten by FNC like this without any fighting power. LCK is like a big mountain above LPL's head, and only when people reach the foot of the mountain do they realize how high it is. The Tigers' Smeb is too scary. He proved that future games cannot be limited to blue-collar singles. So you found him. Abu looked at the spicy boy squatting on the esports chair playing with the Jianya Mingwa knife. EDGCzijian was picking his nose, controlling the computer character, muttering. Fat Wei, your skills are exactly the same as those of Severus in the world. Don't call them God in the future, just VDOG. On the other side of the earphone came Wei Shen's cursing voice. Occasionally, one can still hear which pot is not opened and which one is being picked up. His gameplay is much more radical than that of meat cutting. Perhaps this is our team's attempt to place an order. Abu still believes in Seven Sauce's vision. If it weren't for this kid's obsession with playing the profession, perhaps he would be a good management. In addition to major teams paying attention to the progress of the World Cup, many viewers also want to see if FNC, which defeated EDG, can break through the sky of LCK rule. And many LPL viewers have found good reasons for EDG's failure in this World Championship. After all, the MSI Championship has brought great confidence to everyone. But yesterday SKT won OG 3.0, and today it's the same score. Perhaps LCK's rule is still ongoing, and MSI is just a flash in the pan given to LPL by heaven. Under the strong decision of BP, SKT once again won the trophy after a year of absence in Germany. SKT announces to the world that their era has arrived. Watching the 5 SKT players on the screen raise their trophies high, Jiang's eyes were filled with envy. Perhaps besides envy, there is also a sense of desolation. My old friends from the same era around me have gradually taken other paths. Even my former teammates who were caught dead in the net have brought a few boxes of meat muffins today. Don't say it, it's really delicious. At this point, smartphones have not yet become completely popular, and people do not trust the food they buy in online stores. Moreover, there are only a few types of snacks sold on Taobao, and meat patties can indeed be considered a delicious one. However, with the development of the times, many people have smelled the business opportunity of selling snacks, and a variety of snacks have emerged one after another, making meat patty an unknown among many snacks. In fact, Jian also understands that by retiring in the heat of just winning the MSI Championship, he can really reap a wave of traffic. Even if you don't sell meat pancakes, opening a Taobao store to sell individual items is like Xiaomo, the first series of Chinese servers. Although their Taobao store has a narrow audience, its positioning is very accurate. Who knows if male fans don't want to give a thumbs up. But if I had to leave, I'm afraid I would have left long ago. Thinking of this, Jian stood up and walked into the training room. I won't go back to sleep tonight unless I play him 20 rounds, rank. Due to just playing the World Cup, there are currently no training matches available for scheduling. By the time the S6 spring race started, the version had already undergone a major upgrade, and everyone relied on rank's familiarity with the feel. In order to liven up the League of Legends competition, Fist specially held a World-class All-Star tournament. EDG, with its high popularity, sent 5 team members to participate in the All-Star game titled Song of Ice and Fire by netizens. Jian represented the Ice team in a match against Marin's Ice Girl, and won the first solo match. The entire training room was extremely spacious, and EDGCzijian chose this day to start his live streaming career. When discussing the contract with Abu, EDGCzijian's only requirement was not to hand over his live streaming contract. This is a wild period of live streaming, during which various future anchors and influencers have gained fame. Just like YYDS, a popular meme, not to mention original, whoever uses it first is their own. A certain mud sauce didn't grasp it and created the first popular meme in League of Legends, but in the end, it went in. EDGCzijian, no matter what, is also a person who has traveled through time. In addition to his advanced understanding of game versions, his understanding of live streaming effects is far superior to other anchors of the same period. Hello, Ashui, can you hear me over there? Jian, don't call me Ashui, okay? I'm Jackie-love. The Jack from Jack and Rose. The name Ashui sounds so nice. What's wrong, you don't like it? I always feel like you're joking about my poor skills and mocking me for being too skilled. No way, this is not the name I gave you, it's all based on your skills. At this point, Ashui is already a high-ranking person. Although his popularity in Douyu is not high, he can still be considered a decent anchor. These days, there are many who can become anchors, but there are not many who can rely on anchors to make a living. Moreover, Shui's age is set here, and people in his age group are still in junior high school, so they can rely on the anchor to make a living. In addition to Ashui from Douyu, there is also a 14-year-old Jian from Huya on the adjacent platform. Relying on winning the reputation of being the top suburban king at the age of 14, it also happened to attract a wave of traffic. Many marketing accounts also feature capital letters condemning the parents of 14 Sword Lady for using their children to make money. However, they also lost out on these marketing accounts, bringing more traffic to 14 Sword G. Compared to 14 Swordsman, Ashui has a maturity that does not belong to his age, and he has a clearer plan for his life. Ashui understands that being a broadcaster is just a temporary forced choice, and his destination should be in the broader mountains and seas. Jian, did you really go to EDG to play professionally? Ashui said incredulously. How about I take a picture of the EDG gate for you to see? It shouldn't be. You don't even want to place an order with OMG, how dare EDG accept it? What do you mean, kid? Regarding EDGCzijian's actions, Ashui agrees, but it is such radical actions that people really cannot understand how EDG dares to accept him. What era is it now? In the era of single 3 magic gods, you let a rascal who only knows how to play with single 3 sisters all day long, and who dares to catch and die, go to EDG to get a single. Who believes this when it's said? EDG is LPL's most operational club. How well do you understand operations? A game that cannot be defeated by an economy leading 10,000, EDG teaches you how to give it to operations. With this eerie operation, black fans have to sit down honestly when they come. Jian, can you help me see how EDG looks? If Mr. Dai runs away, I'll go find you. Let's form a brotherly alliance. Okay. When you reach adulthood and come to EDG to play AD, I will transition to assist you. Upon hearing these words, Ashui was so scared that he quickly said, Don't, I dare to retire on the spot if you play as an assistant. Let you see what a second man is. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. LPL. Various allied forces gather in a live broadcast room. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. LPL. Various allied forces gather in a live broadcast room. EDGCzijian's auxiliary pitfall is unknown to Ashui. Anyway, if he goes down the road in pairs with others, it's 2-2. If it were with EDGCzijian, it would be 1-3. Why do you say that? Have you ever seen a level 1 auxiliary small method that is stronger than your own AD's fighting line stacking method? Have you ever seen your own AD being killed by someone else, assisting Xiaofa, who is even happier than the other person? Why are you happy? The troops below the tower can all give him a strong stacking technique, are you happy or not? Since he and EDGCzijian got off the road in pairs once Ashui entered the game and EDGCzijian was on the 5th floor, he begged his grandfather to tell his grandmother that the 5th floor was not supportive. I have never been so speechless on the 5th floor in my life. The 5th floor assistance is possible, but the AD position is definitely not Douyu or Jakalov. If EDGCzijian were to play single, Shui would be willing to do it 100 times. Of course, it's not just because of how well we play, everyone is a genius teenager, and no one should think that they are much stronger than anyone else. Ashui's favorite is EDGCzijian's reckless personality. That's like starting a fight with just one word of disagreement. Whether it's in matchups or team fights, EDGCzijian is a man who suppresses everything to the extreme. Jian Gu, are you ready for the live broadcast on your end? Once you're ready, I'll also start broadcasting and help you promote it. I'm broadcasting on Huya. If you can help me attract traffic on your end, just give it a try. EDGCzijian is also not polite. If the traffic of other anchors is not attractive, it's okay. Ashui must have it. The reason is simple, EDGCzijian's fan base of female fans is too high. I haven't started a career yet, but this mom has more fans than some well-known professional guys. He is handsome and plays like Draven chopping melons and vegetables in the canyon. The main focus is on a contrasting boy. Before the broadcast, EDGCzijian sent a message to Hezi on WeChat. The operation of EDG Weibo is handled by Hezi. In addition, some miscellaneous matters cannot be handled by Abu himself, and are all entrusted to Hezi. It can be basically said that he is Abu's assistant. Hezi replied to the message in seconds, edited the Weibo, and then sent it out. The long-awaited EDG listing Zijian has started broadcasting, come and watch it now. Huya room number 439-6777, link to the live broadcast room. Once this Weibo was posted, it quickly caused fluctuations. The performance of Kuru in the World Cup, which was not particularly impressive, has been questioned by many people, but everyone still remembers the Buddha's palm vividly. We hope that this talented young man can once again showcase his talent. But that day, EDG announced the news of introducing new orders, and even little Blackie, who was not satisfied with his performance in the Dunk Meet World Championship, was confused. Abu, you really dare to change people. You should know that currently, Kuru can be said to be one of the most popular players in LPL, and its mischievous appearance attracts a lot of female fans. I remember one time, when I was ranking in the Chinese server, I encountered Otto. Otto was unknowingly beaten up, and then my stick brother began a long and friendly greeting. The female fans of Kuru were unwilling and began a month-long Weibo explosion against Brother Stick. This event is known as the 10,000 Pig Arch Tower. EDGCzijian's popularity has rapidly increased due to the traffic from EDG official blogs. After all, EDG is currently one of the most popular clubs, with all 5 players participating in the All-Star game. Even if EDGCzijian doesn't have much popularity, he can still catch a wave of traffic. However, these traffic doesn't seem too friendly. Where did the little white face come from? Dare to compete with Tong Woody for a spot, protect the best 5 people of MSI and resist the ugly behavior of EDG replacing people. What we mean is, shouldn't clubs pursue results? Strengthening is the choice, don't just hype up CP. Is that okay? The seemingly rational statement upstairs, in fact, a group of NT players in the entire league have stronger orders than Tong Woody. Zijian, get out of EDG. I am a fan of the team. As long as EDG wins the championship, I care who his team members are. What team fans? I'm just a fan of Factory Brother. Whoever can take Factory Brother to win a trophy is my biological father. The traffic it attracted was very unfriendly, with 8 out of 10 cursing and 1 selling movies. There aren't many people watching live broadcasts rationally. However, EDGCzijian is someone who has seen big scenes because he has witnessed the rise of a basketball superstar. Black fans are the real fans, true love fans are all YLG. Coincidentally, the first time EDGCzijian started broadcasting, he was ranked as the top single player, Brother Stick. Xiao Jian, it's been a long time since we last lined up for you, said Odo, a steady stick brother, see me. Cudgel brother greeted EDGCzijian proactively, which greatly caused dissatisfaction among the fans of Jianro. It used to be very infuriating for you to snatch our brother's position, but now it's okay, you're still colluding with the enemy. Do you not know that this King Jiji is our mortal enemy? Okay, so you guys are a group. There are only so many Ionian kings, and high-end players are basically familiar with them. Just like EDGCzijian, a god who occasionally hits the road, I know many professional players and anchors. Although speaking with one's mouth can sometimes be quite annoying, who wouldn't like a god who can bring flying points? Of course, as Jiang said, if you honestly play on the road, we will be half-brothers in this lifetime. But if you want to play in other positions, sorry, turn left when going out, we're not familiar. What kind of thing do you dare to choose Sword Lady? The version of Tong Wudi is all about playing big trees, and you play Sword Ji as a substitute. I don't even understand this version. What profession do you play? After investigation, it was found that the player was not wanted by OMG, not even a club that couldn't even enter a world tournament, and surprisingly came to pit EDG. It doesn't matter if you're good brothers with that steady stick except for some little sons, the female fans from Ashui's side are very enthusiastic. After all, 9 out of 10 female fans who like Ashui are beauty fans. Seeing EDGCzijian, who is so mischievous and handsome, really makes a fool of herself. Stick brother is also very righteous. When he heard his good brother start a live broadcast, he also called on the fans in the live room to help EDGCzijian boost his popularity. At this point, Brother Stick can already be considered a big anchor. As the man known as the #1 meme in the live streaming industry, his popularity is not comparable to that of Ashui. Black fans, beauty fans, and passers-by fans will make a mess, and it's hard to distinguish them in EDGCzijian's live broadcast room. Even OMG fans came to watch as their home team refused to place an order and ran to the top-performing club in LPL, but they felt inexplicably superior. In addition, places with EDG cannot do without the presence of 60E. There's no way, the evil caused by Jiang and Abu seems to be going on for a while and a half. In summary, EDGCzijian's live broadcast room has gone crazy. 60E teamed up with 59E to launch a surprise attack on Starch. While facing the coalition forces, the Starch team also criticized EDGCzijian for grabbing his brother's spot on the order. For a moment, the popularity of EDGCzijian's live broadcast room skyrocketed, as if there were signs of catching up with the popularity of the evening slot sexy male live broadcast room. Thank you for giving a prize of 3,000 starting coins to Good Book. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. The Holy Spear Brother will be killed alone when he comes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. The Holy Spear Brother will be killed alone when he comes as Ashui locked in Draven, EDGCzijian, located in the blue side, entered the final hero talent adjustment time. Blue square. Shang Dan Jianji, De Yi Excavator, Zhong Dan Bingnu, Xia Ludwin plus Hammerstone. Red side. Upper single Bobby, Danya Qinjue, middle single Victor, lower single Lucian plus Blossom. Entering the waiting page of the game, a boy wearing thick glasses from the Snake Club stretched lazily. As the thigh of the team, Flandrel doesn't want to play with any fantasy gods. Especially when playing rank, friend COIS put on a variety of singles, and even Lucian put on a single with one hand, earning him the title of Saint Gun Brother. But under pressure from the coaching staff, coupled with my desire for better results, Flandrel also began to doubt whether playing single fantasy god was the only way to achieve better results. For this, Flandrel began a week-long hero pool expansion training. On the way down, you can play Draven for me. This is just playing with an axe at getting men, Flandrel. Stay steady on the road and watch me drive through the next path. Gongzi, who was sitting not far away, said confidently. Last spring, In a match against IG, Christ 4L won 5 kills with a single hand, earning the title of professional player Vincent from the audience. In the year of S5, LPL introduced a large number of Han Yuan, and the Snake team played their own team style with the 4 guarantees and 1 system. As Gangzi said in the future, who is not a genius boy. You can't always say that I eat 4 fish at a time. Why don't you take a look at me? With just 1 axe, I make IG suffer a lot. The barrage in EDGCzijian's live broadcast room was still arguing incessantly, but the parties involved began the live broadcast explanation. As an anchor, I am a professional, and I am also a skilled anchor. You can listen to Ashui and the factory director slander me that other positions are not suitable, but you cannot say that I cannot place an order. If we're playing Bobby, we usually just need to put a little pressure on it in the early stages, because those who know how to play Bobby will avoid colliding with you in the early stages. Bobby, who was able to suppress Sword G in the early stage, either had a significant difference in their operations or had his mind twitched. If we play the game of King, we will. The next second, EDGCzijian was slapped in the face, and Bobby stood at the mouth of the river, waving his hammer. This is a blatant mockery. This doesn't take me seriously. The Q skill, Sky-Breaking Slash, advances forward and triggers around 50 damage points when hitting Bobby. The Holy Spear brother was also very meticulous in his attacks. He first threw the soap out of his hand, and then the Holy Hammer struck fiercely to cancel the regular attack and shake it. Other hero AQ is definitely the fastest combo to deal damage, but Bobby is different, he has to pick up soap. When Bobby turned to pick up soap, he gave Jian the opportunity to make her first flaw. The double health brought by the vulnerability and the indestructible grip brought Sword G and Bobby, who were originally at a loss for blood exchange, to the same level. In theory, if a master moves, they will stop at the last point. But EDGCzijian has no intention of stopping there. The moment before Bobby picked up the soap, Jian unleashed another general attack with her flawed acceleration effect. By the time Saint Gun reacted, Jian had already pulled the distance apart. A strange scene appeared, and the audience saw Jian make a second general attack, but Bobby never made a general attack. Just as everyone was puzzled, EDGCzijian spoke up. Jian's attack range is 150 yards, while Bobby is only 125 yards, which is the same attack range as the Weapon Master. Fine. It's really too detailed. Undoubtedly a professional player, even the hero's most inconspicuous attack range is controlled so precisely. You should know that there is a saying among players who place orders that when you are truly able to use attack range kite weapons, then you are a qualified person to place orders. There is no other reason, and Weapon Master can be considered a hero among many traditional single players with relatively short hands. Moreover, Bobby's attack range is similar to that of a Weapon Master, which further controls a player's basic operations. Saint Gun thought it was enough to knock on a layer of corrupt potion, but he was forcefully hit by 2 more general attacks. Hard-hearted, he knocked off another layer of corrupt potion. Don't be fooled by Bobby's health suppressing Jian's head now, but he consumed 2 layers of corruption potion at the beginning. The confidence in the first level battle against the Holy Spear brother was completely lost, and he relied on the Holy Hammer's fierce strike to slowly handle the situation of the army line. After Jian successfully snatched the second level, Holy Spear brother really began to go to jail. Hammer strike is an AoE damage that can easily affect other minions. EDGCzijian controls Jian, only repairing the tail knife of the soldiers. The military line began to approach the blue defense tower, and once Jian had a killing intent, Bobby would be chased all the way. Just now, Jian took advantage of the frequent consumption of Bobby's reinforcements, allowing Holy Spear brother not only to complete the final corruption potion, but also to continuously reduce his health. Looking at the over 300 gold coins in his pocket, Saint Spear brother could only grit his teeth and retreat back to prepare to go home for supplies. What made Saint Gun feel even more at risk was the ignition of EDGCzijian's D. key. In fact, Saint Gun wants to be greedy for another wave. After all, Sword Ji's experience is lagging behind him in order to control the line. But just now, being pulled by various attack distance advantages, he chose the most stable playing method. The confident genius boy has now put away his arrogance. Saint Gun sat up slightly straight from the esports chair, ready for TP to come back and compete with the opponent again. In order to quickly walk to the bottom of the tower and return to the city, Saint Lance used his resolute demeanor to increase his movement speed. But Jian Ji's next move made him widen his pupils. Breaking through the air and slashing forward, Laurent's mind and eye sword struck simultaneously, achieving a firm and graceful binding effect. The purple sword formation made Holy Spear Brother understand that if he didn't flash, he would die. Without any hesitation, Saint Spear Brother handed it over and flashed. But EDGCzijian didn't let go of his plan at all. He also flashed the position where the W skill was released, directly stunning Bobby in place. Saint Gun Brother crazily tapped on the floor, wanting to escape from this troublemaker after the dizziness effect was lifted. But the flaw on Jian Ji's face is despairing. In addition to dealing more damage, what is even more deadly is the acceleration effect after completing the flaw. After Bobby entered the tower, he still had less than 100 health left. Saint Gun knows that this blood will inevitably be confessed. After all, they still have ignition, which can compensate for the damage later on. But what made him feel ashamed was that Jianji stood at the edge of the attack range of the defense tower after completing a general attack. Everyone thought that Jianji was going to let Bobby have a way out. But as soon as the cooldown of the sky-breaking slash was over, Jianji was so stunned that she rushed in. The final damage was inflicted on Bobby, who lifted the hammer and hit his smaller body heavily. First blood. Single kill. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Killing is possible, but not necessary. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Killing is possible, but not necessary. After killing Bobby in the tower, Sword Ji was also half healed by the defense tower. At this moment, Jian Ji's head lit up from Qian Ju's mark. The sheep spirit in the river, holding a bow and arrow, flipped and jumped over, and simply hit 3 rings, knocking off Jian Ji's limited health. Jian Ji can pull Bobby with an attack range of 25 yards, so Qian Ju's attack range is even higher. At the moment EDGCzijian saw Qianjue, he had already opened the keyboard with both hands. Pick up the coffee brewed next to me and take a small sip. In such a scene, barrage of bullets flew up in the live broadcast room. A true man never looks back at the explosion. Wrong drop. This is a true warrior who dares to face death directly. Anyway, this ratio is a bit overwhelming for him to pretend to be. Sisters, I suddenly feel a little handsome. What's the matter? Wake me up. I am the most determined mother of Tong Tong. Little sister, I'm intimate with you. Let me scold you and humiliate you, okay? For a moment, the battle between 60E, 59E, and Starch came to a halt. The live broadcast effect is so good that it explodes with excitement. Watching the black and white TV, Saint Gun feels a bit better. Although he was killed alone by someone else, he has TP and can quickly push the thread in after resurrection. And Jian Ji will lose at least 1 line in this wave. There was no way. In order to control the line and kill Bobby, EDGCzijian gathered nearly half of the troops in front of the tower. Why do we need to turn on the ignition? If I can use my skills to kill, I don't need to turn on the ignition. EDGCzijian finished buying equipment and came out of the spring, grinning at the camera. Furthermore, keeping the ignition down can still kill. Stop pretending, it's the Holy Spear Brother of the Snake team on the other side. You made a mistake and killed a wave. You thought you were too good. Does the anchor treat the professional brother as bronze or silver? Bronze and silver are not meant for random killing, okay? The real random killing game depends on me, Carl. 10 people can customize everything. This kid is so confident, I think he really has a chance to kill alone again. Illusion, you upstairs must be an illusion. Wake yourself up quickly. We are here, Tong Wudi, to uphold justice. Wrong drop, our 60E is here to directly disrupt Huanglong and explode your pig offal. The barrage of bullets in the live broadcast room once again ignited, and EDGCzijian's solo killing was just a small episode. However, regarding EDGCzijian's statement that he left the ignition for the next solo kill, Ashui felt like 100 alpacas were galloping in his heart. He used to believe this sentence, but now I don't believe it anymore. It's impossible to believe it at all. You're just unconscious. If someone dares to catch you, they dare to give you away. Do you really think I don't know your level? Some people have already reached the level of national service, but their awareness is still so poor. This refers to EDGCzijian. This is also why EDGCzijian chose EDG among many teams. Who is EDG's field player? Ming Kai. My factory director's consciousness is not something that ordinary people can have, claiming to be the existence of radar. What is the highlight of other people's highlights? Single kill with silk blood, or one hit with 3. Zhejiang is different, with a variety of famous market views. Inadequate operation, consciousness comes to play. Due to the presence of a sports car in the second wave after Jian was killed, he did not lose many soldiers in this battle. 2 front-row soldiers and 1 sports car soldier are still within EDGCzijian's acceptable range. The experience of a sports car is about 120, while that of a melee soldier is about 32. However, 1 blood also brought Jian 50 experience points, which were all within EDGCzijian's calculation range. In the early stages of competition, level experience is very important. The various attribute bonuses brought by level 1 are equivalent to the attributes brought by half a duolon sword, let alone the skill points that increase the skill level. Back online, Jian finished dealing with the soldiers under the tower. The audience in the live broadcast room once witnessed what a perfect tower knife is. Even if the bully from the neighboring live broadcast room came, he would have to give a thumbs up. After being killed alone once, Saint Lance also felt very embarrassed and kept seeking opportunities to fight back. If he were to row alone, it wouldn't be a problem, but he's in double row with Gangzi. If he gets killed by passers-by, his teammates' joke today is him. Yalay. This hammer stone has 2 brushes. Gangzi let out a fierce howl. What's the fun with our bloom at home? Do you dare to go up to Q people? Holy Spear Brother cuts the screen to the next road. Good guy, both Draven and Hammerstone are above half health, while Lucian and Bloom are already corpses. Lying on the ground, 1 in front and 1 behind, watching as Draven swung his axe into the air. Oh my goodness, I just dropped it. You're not very good either, I'll drop a gun. Don't brag, I can call back. Who isn't it? Watch me kill through the road. Watch your gun brother kill and get on the road. To be honest, Saint Spear Brother can still fight back, after all, the difference between Sword G and Bobby is not too big. Bobby must have been able to hit 1 wave by grabbing 6, as for the next one Delavan drank his blood sword, and Lucian just pulled out a big sword. What does this rely on to fight back? Mouth. Kill the bully with a flick of my finger, my gang brother is gone and my mouth is still there. Bobby, this wave is going to take 6. We can dodge it. Don't look at him as a tank, if he hits level 6 with a set of damage, we will definitely go home. EDGCzijian continued to provide professional commentary regardless of the progress of the barrage battle. In fact, even if I fight with him, I won't die, but being beaten home can be quite damaging. There are no sports cars in this wave of soldiers' lines, so I will definitely want to lose more than a wave of lines when I go home. You can fight, but it's not necessary. The barrage kept brushing on the dishes and teasing, but EDGCzijian didn't take it seriously. Just now, you said I treated professional players like bronze and silver. Isn't this barrage king the same now? After handling the pawn line pushed by Bobby, Sword G arrived at level 6 unscathed. At this moment, the Holy Spear brothers are all numb. I won't give you any chance on the other side. The lead in experience seems insignificant at this point, because upgrading after level 6 requires a lot of experience. After all, experience is different from equipment attributes, and it requires a certain limit to be converted into attribute values. After catching up with the level, Jian Ji began to consume various QA. If Bobby dares to fight back, it's just chasing after and beating him up. Xian Ju, who was painting stones, sent a signal, giving Saint Lance some courage to go up and fight. The game between kings is not just about operations, but also about psychology. Qianjue's position is actually quite ambiguous. He said he could support him, and he could indeed come within 10 seconds. But the problem is that Poppy may not be able to withstand the damage of Sword G for 10 seconds. However, with someone behind him, Saint Gun also became bold. Just now, Saint Gun, who was still huddled behind the military line, began to tentatively reinforce his troops. Kid, I'm telling you a clear card that there's someone behind me. How dare you suppress me and not eat soldiers? Sorry, your elder brother Jian really broke through the air and stabbed me, just to make you not eat soldiers. Don't ask, it's just that I'm not conscious. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Arema, what kind of monster did you send out? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Arema, what kind of monster did you send out? Don't reason with unreasonable people, because they have no reason. Similarly, don't compete with unconscious people, they only know how to come up and fuck you. Our skill unmatched challenge is activated. The 30% movement effect brought by the sword formation allowed EDGCzijian to quickly eliminate the flaw on the right side of Bobby. At the same time, Bobby began to swing his hammer and his ultimate move began to accumulate energy. Holy Spear Brother stared closely at the screen, and in the blink of an eye, Sword G's last flaw was left. Does Jianji still need to keep Lauren's heartfelt knife? Hand it over quickly, you bastard. If you hand it over, I can still let you go. If I don't pay, I will really be beaten to death by you. Throwing the hammer out or not, this is a psychological game. But EDGCzijian didn't seem to have thought about these things. After finishing the last flaw, he directly ignited Bobby. At this moment, Saint Gun finally had the willingness to swing the hammer down. If we don't swing again, we'll really die. But at the moment he took action, Lauren's heartfelt knife opened once again. This time, Bobby dodged the dizziness effect, but after Sword G's sword energy was unleashed, the sky breaking slash caught up with the damage. At this moment, Qianjue finally rushed over, and EDGCzijian turned around and drove away directly. I am unconscious, but I am not foolish. Unconsciously, I am blind and don't know if you will come to catch me. A fool is unable to fight and still needs to send me. Saint Gun frowned as he looked at the burning wound. Considering his current 35 health, he may still be able to survive. But when Jian Ji was evading Qian Ju's pursuit, Pu attacked and killed a bloodless soldier, successfully upgrading to level 7. Bobby just jumped 37 true damage points above his head, and in an instant it became 41. Bobby under the tower once again turned into a corpse. Why does the anchor need to recruit troops this time? Is there anyone who can raise the issue to answer? At this moment, the barrage of quarrels was once again neatly aligned. They all hit greed on the public screen. Wrong. It's to increase the damage caused by ignition. My level 6 ignition damage is definitely not enough to kill the opponent. Level 7 ignition will increase damage by 20 points, which is an additional 4 points of damage per second. The barrage players listened to EDGCzijian's boasting, but they didn't think so in their hearts. Even if a professional athlete is abnormal, it's not enough to include the damage values from the ignition points. Saint Gun, who was at the Snake Club, swallowed and spat. As a professional athlete, he is well aware of the numerical value of ignition damage. The basic damage is 50 points, increasing by 20 points per level. The ignition of the 6th level sword concubine can cause 37 damage per second, and the 7th level is 41 points. Just now, his Bobby's health was still 35. If we add the 2.2% recovery from his base health, he can withstand the last second of ignition damage. However, Gongzi, do you believe anyone will count the health of level, ignition, and alignment? Saint Gun said in shock as soon as no one replied. Holy Spear Brother shouted loudly, Gongzi, evil sight. Don't make any noise. Gongzi shook his mouse and said regretfully, damn it, you're the one who got double killed this time. It's all your fault for bothering me. Rolling calf, if someone orders something, then someone will order it. Don't make me carry the blame. Hee, no matter how bad it is, I won't die as fast as you. Gongzi moved his wrist and said, which of these two waves didn't die before me? Saint Gun glanced at Gongzi, who was known for being tough at the club and didn't say much. But after this wave, it has been declared war on the road. If we go down the road that's it, anyway, Draven's axe is already smoking. The steady stick in the middle is still a steady group, developing along with Victor's push line, occasionally going down the road to help Draven catch a wave. As for going on the road, the steady stick knows EDGCzijian too well. It's okay if we catch it, but if we can't catch it, it will definitely dirty our own soldiers in the middle. Beauty, as its name suggests, should bring back the experience of catching and rubbing people. Jianji did not choose to synthesize the greedy Hydra after completing the Tiamat, but instead chose Black Cut as the next piece of equipment. In this way, Jianji's damage is not only terrifying, but her health is also densely packed. Xianju from the wild area began to brush the wild mode with a heavy head, and then occasionally harassed in the middle to see if she could find a chance. I dare not even think about going up or down. Who would have thought that the two thickest thighs of the Snake team, one genius on the single and one genius AD, were being hit with their heads pressed down. Gongzi. Why are you dead again? Upon seeing this game, Saint Gun couldn't beat it and began to release himself in self mode. Alma, this Draven chops half of my health with an axe. This is a monster hero with a value of 8. Can you sharpen your fist? A few days ago, who was arguing that Draven was his own hero, hoping to strengthen his fist. Compared to the massacre on the road where he couldn't lift his head, Saint Gun Brother was able to endure it a bit better. After all, Bobby is a flesh tank, and his turtle can rely on his skills to replenish troops in the tower, which can be considered as development. At this moment, Saint Gun finally understood why the three fantasy gods had become the top choices on the field. To prevent the possibility of changing lanes for two people in the early stages. Wrong drop. It's to raise a big dad who can also develop lewdly. Otherwise, the situation would be like the road ahead, and supplementing troops is a luxury. Gun boy, let's change the line. We really can't fight down the road. Okay, I'll go home and get rid of the sunburn this time. Let's change the wires. Glancing at Victor and Qianjue's equipment, Saint Lance didn't rush to surrender. Yansu Qianjue killed a wave of excavators and caught a wave of ice girls in the middle. The development of Qianjue with 3 heads can be considered carry. In addition, the current situation is already deadlocked, and if it were a platinum gold game, the next 3-piece set of Draven could be overturned. But after all, everyone has their own operations, and there is still room to stabilize the current situation. Looking at the defense tower with 1/3 of its health remaining on the road, EDGCzijian also chose to go home and buy a storm sword. In theory, blue shields or other defensive equipment should be released, but as of now, it can only be said that they can be released, but it is not necessary. After completing the equipment and returning to the line, EDGCzijian suddenly realized that the person in line was missing. Bobby's avatar appeared on the way down, while those on the way became Lucian and Bloom. After changing the thread, Gongzi felt better. Not to mention whether to suppress or not, at least we can replenish our troops. Lucian, who could have been said to have exited the game, suddenly went online again. Saint Gun Brother doesn't matter, no matter where he is, he always shrinks under the tower to replenish his troops. Except for Draven's more painful cut, it's still possible to supplement the front row soldiers. They Qianjue is below, Brother Jian, you can take action now. Okay. After receiving Qianju's message, Jianji stopped pretending. What I'm afraid of is that you pay 3 for 1. You wouldn't really think I'm afraid of you, a underdeveloped Lucian, would you? Alma. What kind of monster are you sending out with the gun? My mom. Gongzi's mournful cries echoed from the club once again. End of this chapter. Chapter 9, Brother Jian, they know they're wrong. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9, Brother Jian, they know they're wrong. EDGCzijian really couldn't get used to Lu Ziyan, so he found the right time to take a look at Bolong and rushed forward. Lu Ziyan couldn't bear the damage of Jianji, even though he quickly drew his gun and dodged backwards, he still suffered the damage from the piercing slash that hit the hole. As soon as Gongzi saw that something was wrong, how could he do it when he saw the opportunity? Anyway, he gave others some psychological preparation. Enthusiastic, the 60 movement speed bonus provided was also considered a distance away from Jiangela. Bloom watched as his AD was about to be poked to death, and immediately rushed back without stopping. No, gun boy, what kind of monster is the sword lady you raised? AQ killed 1/3 of my health. Your Draven is not bad either, Saint Lance said with a contemptuous smile, but we can withstand pressure and never push down the second tower in my hands. Watching Bloom rushing back, Gongzi casually turned around and pointed out his enthusiasm. Can this be tolerated? Usually, when it comes to placing an order, one can tolerate it, but EDGCzijian can't. You can kill me, but you cannot humiliate me like this. Gongzi. Who humiliated you so much? I just turned around and fired 2 shots. You fucking came up and pressed my head, then fired. As an AD, what happened when I fired 2 shots? Has anyone told me, is this not right? The cooldown time of level 4 sky breaking slash is 7 seconds. Just now, it hit Lucian's flaw again, and the cooldown time is reduced by 50%. EDGCzijian CD happened to happen and he killed it again. Upon seeing that the situation was not right, Bloom stepped forward and leaned against Lucian. Cold Winter Bites precisely gives face-sticking sword G. During this period, Lucian's combination with Bloom was able to quickly create a passive shock and strike, especially when Lucian still had the holy light of translucency. EDGCzijian dared not gamble because their dizziness was a fleeting moment, and there was no room for him to react. Anticipating sexual intercourse with Laurent's cunning knife is also to save one's life. If you don't pay, you may be showcased to death, but if you pay, there is still room for manipulation. However, after witnessing the damage caused by Jianji, Gongzi decided not to give the opponent any room to operate and turned back to escape. Probably due to poor communication among passers-by, Bloom has no intention of retreating. Why do you have to run? He can still do it for both of us, can't he? Moreover, Qianjue is still processing river crabs in the river and will soon be able to provide support. With a rhythm of 3-1, nothing can be said to spare this noblewoman. After learning from the lesson of the Stone Slayer last time, Qianjue handed over punishment and quickly dealt with the river crab. Jiangu, Qianju should be up there. Jiangu, don't chase after me. Lucian knows he's wrong, run quickly. You can play, let me operate. EDGCzijian focused on the screen, but still didn't forget to explain to the live broadcast room, watch well, and learn how to use bricks and stones. EDGCzijian's people are almost crying. With my well-developed Draven, this game is definitely a great one. But the premise is that Qianjue can't get up. If that AQA set of damage is dealt, Draven without displacement will just die. Lucian has already handed over his cold pursuit, and if he doesn't fight at this moment, he can't justify it. Gangzi made a serious mistake, which is that he doesn't want to sell Bloom. This led to Jianji having a close range, which seemed to be well controlled by Gangzi, but he forgot one thing. Jianji's vulnerability can be accelerated, and Bloom's vulnerability is displayed on the right side. After defeating Bloom's flaw, Sword Ji once again launched a major move. The dual acceleration effect made Jianji extremely fast, as if she had driven a sprint. After Gangzi's death in battle, he quickly threw the blame, fearing that he would speak later than Holy Spear Brother. Alma. Why is this auxiliary so powerful? After Jianji successfully killed Lu Ziyan, she stood at the edge of the sword formation and began to heal. That is a location close to the grass in front of the opponent's defense tower. Xianju had just appeared at the mouth of the river when the ghostly figure of Jianji walked into the grass. Ding ding ding. Spring Commander Gangzi constantly pinged the signal from the grass and then clicked on Bloom's accessory eye. If Qianjue gets this big head, this game can be overturned. After giving Jianji the position of the accessory eye, Qianju's pulling distance became particularly ambiguous. This is a position where you can pull out the distance of the air braking slash, and it is also a position where Qianju can hit an output. But Qianju's gaze remained on Jianji, forgetting the existence of a variable. That is the excavator that was smashed by him in the wilderness. At this time, excavators are not yet popular in the current gameplay because the ultimate move is a supporting skill, and the damage type skill has decent values in the early stages, but becomes somewhat weak in the later stages. The collapse of the wilderness has made the excavator move closer to the meat pack faster. Besides the wild knife, the blue shield became the first choice for excavator equipment. As Qianjue was about to take action, an excavator came over from the other side of the wall and drilled a hole. Shanding knocked Qianjue away and quickly released the active skill of blue shield. A 20% deceleration effect. As the only turning point, Bloom can be said to have exerted all his strength to protect Qianjue. But under the damage of Jianji's explosion, just as the young spirit's breath fell, Jianji followed suit to output. There is no room for operation, which is the gap in equipment. Nice. Ashui shouted excitedly, and the axe in his hand made the Holy Spear Brother even more joyful. The situation suddenly spiraled out of control, and the red side had no intention of continuing. As players in this rank, everyone can see the future direction of the game. As soon as 20 minutes arrive, the base of the red side will automatically explode. Ashui said bitterly, I haven't cut enough yet. Why did the other side surrender? I'm not happy, really unhappy. Perhaps due to the professional players in this match, EDGCzijian's points doubled. Without any hesitation, EDGCzijian added the newly obtained points to his consciousness. I used to have almost lost my sense of ranking, but I was able to come back with my skills. But now we're going to play a game, even with the help of a factory manager with radar awareness, we still need to have some basic anti-gank awareness. After adding some points, EDGCzijian's mind seemed to come to life. Looking back at the confrontation just now, there were actually other ideas. For example, one can roughly determine the position of Qianjue, although it is not very clear, at least their consciousness has become more active. In the following period, EDGCzijian embarked on a brutal and inhumane journey to rank. Abu used to be thinking about whether to urge EDGCzijian to play more rank, but now it's better. This kid is even crazier than Ming Kai. In the training room at night, team members usually go to bed at 2 or 3 o'clock. But under the dim light, there are always two people with stubble beards going crazy, rank. The most unlucky person is EDGCzijian. During the day, he plays the national costume with Ashui, and at night, he plays the Korean costume with Chi Sauce. Ashui is originally a very talented anchor, and his work state is just a mediocre one. Now it's better, the live broadcast duration has more than doubled compared to last month. Thank you for the big 100 yuan reward from yesterday and tomorrow, end of this chapter. Chapter 10. On the road 1v1 men's battle, you come, you are my son. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 10. On the road 1v1 men's battle, you come, you are my son. Half a month before the start of the spring season, there were constant reports of major transfer deals. Especially for LGD's singles, former SKT singles player, and FMVP from the previous World Cup, Marin transferred to LPL. This explosive news quickly attracted the attention of a group of LPL viewers. Marin's joining may be a tempering of LPL's major orders. Viewers who follow LCK know that Marin not only has a miracle of borrowing another 22 seconds from the sky, but also his matchmaking and team-building skills can be said to be world-class. Last year, except for Smeb from the Tigers who played against him back and forth, the rest of the orders were either not as good as him in the matchups, or they were almost too close in the team. Jian Gu, what if you play against Main on the field? I think Tiaba or something can make him really impressive. During the waiting time in the queue, Ashui and EDGCzijian chatted. Marin, I often encounter him on the Korean server. Let's split it into 5 or 5. Oh, I think you're so much stronger than him when it comes to lineup. If you're in a league, Ashui hesitated. Then I'll thread him through the line and not give him a chance to team up. How can you really boast? I'm still banging my hammer while aligning. Yeah, last time Brother Stick told me that he often kills Faker alone. Cut. After 2 rounds of qualifying with Ashui, EDGCzijian went to bed early. Recently, the popularity of live streaming has been quite low, mostly due to the fact that the popularity of EDG orders is concentrated on the side of meat cutting. No matter how good EDGCzijian is at live streaming, he still needs some traffic support. Tomorrow is the opening battle with RNG, and EDG has released the list of starting personnel. The fans of Jianro finally relaxed when they saw their brother steadily starting the game. However, on the second day of accompanying the team, EDGCzijian followed as a substitute player. As one of the most popular teams in China, the Shanghai Hongqiao Tiandi Stadium is packed with fans who come to support EDG. Except for EDGCzijian and Qijiang, the popularity of the other 4 people is really evenly matched. Qijiang has too many fans, after all, it is now the face of LPL, and Tingjing chooses the man to be promoted. EDGCzijian is the opposite, with almost nothing to cheer him on. Even many fans of Jianro have seen EDGCzijian with malicious intentions in their eyes. Little brother, fight well, you'll be like a jerk in the future. Chi Sauce stopped EDGCzijian's shoulder. Kai, who do you look down on? I'll snatch all your fans over then. Don't rush with me. It's not urgent, but I'm afraid it'll be difficult for me to wait until that day. EDG and RNG, as the opening teams, naturally attracted a large number of fans' attention. The official competition also invited 3 commentators, Higher Brothers and Su Xiaoyan, to make appearances. Welcome to the opening game of the S6 regular season. This game will be played by EDG against RNG. I am the commentator Doll. I am commentator Miller. Hello everyone, I am commentator Su Xiaoyan. The contestants have also sat on the competition table. The first to appear is EDG's top single Koro 1, as well as our field manager, center single Chubby General, and the down lane duo Deft and Miko. RNG, on the other hand, is the newly transferred Looper, who plays Wild Spicy Hotpot, has a mid laner Little Tigers, as well as the next moves Unintentional and supporting Mata. When it comes to Koro 1, people first think of the title of Tong Wudi, as well as the Buddha's Palm. MSI faced the 3-man duo of the Peak Marin and Nakano, but he killed one and went to Fui. He achieved his reputation by stepping on the Peak SKT, and it can be said that besides Qijiang, he is the team member with the most EDG fans. If we follow EDG's playing style before S6, Koro 1 is their most needed order. But in the first opening match, Qijiang's rhythm was clearly in the wrong direction, and Mao Kai was killed by Bobby alone while giving Koro 1 a chance to win Mondo. The pace of EDG's downturns cannot keep up with the pace of its downturns. Especially with the carnivorous nature of RNG and the military training of Spicy Hotpot, the mentality of braising meat is on the verge of collapse. Abu frowned as he watched the scene of the game. If the rhythm of EDG continues on the road, it will be threatening, and we have to have General Pang's plane come up to put out the fire. At this moment, Looper was like drinking chicken blood. His resolute demeanor interrupted the Valkyrie dive of the plane, and he turned his angle to bravely charge and knock his wall against the wall. The series of operations did not cause any delay, and directly cleared the aircraft's health bar. Xiao Jian, prepare the equipment. You can play in the next game, Abu said, pinching his chin. Me. Jianshen lay on the sofa, pointing at himself incredulously. Manager, are you not afraid of Koro One's female fans blasting the official blog again? Don't talk so much nonsense, just let you go. Seeing that Abu was getting anxious, Jianshen closed his mouth. The last time I had a live broadcast with Brother Stick all night, the female fans of Koro One almost made EDG's official blog a hot search. Regarding this, Jianshen just wants to say that women are too scary. Abu stood silently in front of the big screen, and the coach Mao Kai on the side dared not speak. This opening battle is crucial for EDG. The loss to the quarterfinals of the S5 World Championship pushed EDG to the edge of the cliff. Relying on the MSI Championship to attract a large number of passers-by fans, the World Championship has lost a large part of its fans. If this year's regular season cannot show the rightful dominance, then fans will be lost in large numbers. For this, the club has also made bold attempts. Place an order while retaining Koro One, then look for an attacking player who can drive the game. Koro One's personal strength is indeed good, but from last season's summer games, this calm playing style has been thoroughly studied. Zijian, if you lose in the next game, do you know the consequences? Abu said seriously. What can it be? It's just being sent to hot search by someone else's female fans. I like traffic, even if it's a little black guy. Don't be stingy, in the next game, you must win. On the big screen, RNG was the first to move the dragon, and Looper's Bobby's performance was once again impressive, hammering away 7 sauce and successfully punishing the dragon. At this point, under the enhanced weapon line of the dragon buff, a mid-lane advance ended the game. The EDG team members returned to the lounge in frustration, and Koro One was clearly out of form after being hit. In the next game, let's have Jianshen play, and Tong Yang, please rest first. Koro One nodded silently, still unable to recover from the previous game. Upon receiving the news from the front, EDG chose to replace the previous order and have substitute Zijian appear for the second round of the game. Before the start of the season, we had heard that EDG had found a passerby king, who was also a skilled player in handling singles such as Jian and Rui One. This kind of hero pool is obviously different from EDG's previous gameplay, maybe it's also a try. Mao Kai led his team on the field, which was also Zijian's first time playing in a game, and he felt new to everything. Especially when entering the chat interface before the competition, he was so familiar that he greeted Xianghua. The two of them have also known each other for a long time. In addition to meeting each other frequently in rank, they also often chat in the 7 Wolves of Ionia. EDGCzijian. On the road, in the 1v1 men's war, you come to Xianghua, you are my son. RNG, MLXG, Son Thief, I am your own D. Before the characters on the fragrant pot were finished typing, they had already become the BP interface. End of this chapter.